Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while. I want to say that first. Like I mentioned in one of my last videos, I am getting married coming up very soon. So everything has been extremely hectic. But what we're going to do today is get ready for a craft show that we did back on April 7th. Now for this show, we took mugs, tumblers, and glass tumblers. I just wanted to give you guys a little peek of my process and how I start and get ready. So I do start out by cleaning every single mug. They need to be lint rolled, then alcoholed, and then lint rolled again. That's my process. Some people may do it a little bit differently, but that is how I do it. Then I start my process of taping everything down. For the mugs, I do 3 on both sides. I have to make sure that it is centered and it sits nicely on said mug. We don't want anything lopsided or crooked. Alrighty, so I do just want to show my process one more time. As you see there, starting out, there is a lot of extra space at the top. We did have to go back and cut the design down a little bit more to ensure that it fits this mug perfectly. We have to do that to make sure that we don't get any additional ghosting or weird effects with the colors on the parts where we don't want it to be. And what we loved about these mugs is the rounding in black. We don't want it to be weird and the pink rub off. It'll give like a weird type of effect. Now also what you can see from my surrounding is I did go ahead and do our 6 pieces of tape on each mug so far. We're going to take it another step further. We're going to go ahead and go around our edges, get all the extra air out, and place another piece of tape up there. That'll ensure that we get consistent color all around the top of the design. When there's too much air in there, we do get ghosting. Trust me, my beginning mugs and tumblers, there was a lot of ghosting because I didn't understand that we needed to get all of that air out to make sure that we have a flat, seamless edge. I am going to go in with my squeegee. I believe that's what it's called. Everybody has a different name for it. Scraper, squeegee, whatever. Go in and make sure that I push more air out now that it's taped, just to make sure we get that perfect design each time. Now, after all of that hard work, we finally get to see our finished product. When I press my mugs, I do use the Cricut mug press. It has the automatic sensors to let me know how long each mug needs to be in there. I haven't had any issues. There was a point in time where I was pressing tumblers in the mug press as well. And you just got to learn your system, know how long it takes. But now that I don't need to do that. I have a tumbler press, which you'll see. So they press separately, but I did want to make sure I use my mug press to get that beautiful, consistent work. Like, oh my gosh, she looks so good. This was my favorite mug that I made. And I did sell that one, so kudos. But it's so great. I did not make the design myself. I did purchase that design, and I will leave a link to where I purchased the design from, just in case anybody else is interested in said design, because it's beautiful and they have so many different ones, including this next one that I'm going to show once we get this tape off. I know it's not fair to have a favorite, but did you see her? My absolute favorite of the mugs. Absolutely adorable. Like, look at that little face. Again, I will link the artist that I bought the design from in the comments in case anybody else is interested. But now we're going to start the prep for our tumblers. Very similar to how I start off my mugs. I start off by lint rolling, alcohol, wiping with alcohol, and then lint rolling again. Me personally, I believe that was my 90% alcohol, because I also do my nails, so we have to have that strong alcohol to wipe them down and make sure that they're nice and clean and ready to go. Now, we do have a lot of designs that we're running through with a lot of different themes. For some reason this go around, it was something about the cow theme. And then the true crime one, my absolute favorite. I made a promise to myself that if I did not sell that one, I was keeping that one for me. And I did. I did not sell it, but I am keeping that one personally for me. So this first one that I'm doing, I'm wrapping my frosted beer tumblers. These were semi-popular at the first show that I did. I think I sold maybe about 2 or 3. To me, that's popular because that was my first show and I was extremely nervous. Don't ask me how many I accidentally broke during the setup process. Now, for our beer cans, we do a 3 tape process. I make sure I get it closed and then I pull that tape as tight as possible. We're also going to make sure we go up that seam and push out any extra air. That's what I'm doing with my nails there, and getting my little baby squeegee to make sure we push every bit of air out. Air is not our friend when it comes to sublimation. That's just, for me, that's rule number 1. I'm also going around the top, very similar to how I did my mugs, with the tape and making sure we push out all the air. Now we're doing it on both sides, and the bottom is always fairly easy because it has that rounded bottom, so it's never really that hard to get the tape and everything to stick. And again, just pushing out all that air. Now, this is where we're going to change our process a little bit from how we did our mugs versus how we do our tumbler and our beer glass cans. I do also wrap with masking tape. And I do this because I just want to be quadruple sure that there is absolutely no air in here. I press it out a little bit harder once I put the masking tape on to make sure all that air is out. I don't go that hard on the regular tape. Now, when it's time to get the tumbler set up, I do flip the design upside down and flip the tumbler upside down to make sure that the top of our picture is lined up with the rim of the tumbler. Now, we're not going to do the 3 tape method on our tumblers. We're going to go with more of like 6 to 8 pieces of little pieces of tape to make sure that everything is secure here. And I do have my little wrapping tool that I use. Got it off Amazon. It broke. Had to make my own thing work. That's why there's that additional magnet on it. But we just keep that gripper tight to ensure that all of the air is out, so that when we're placing our tape nice and tight, nothing else is getting in. Now, because my holder was a little bit tighter, I did get a little bending in my design, but that's okay. I was able to go in with my pointy tool. I don't know the name for these tools. I make it up as I go. But I use that to go ahead and straighten out the design so that we can still get our beautiful seam. Now, while you're getting ready for your craft shows, for me personally, I love and need to make sure I have something funny on the TV that'll keep my mood up while we're working through our hard parts. And the taping is the longest part of wrapping tumblers for me, because I make sure that I do it perfectly so that I don't mess up in my own eyes. So as you can see, I'm watching some YouTube videos, YouTube reviews on different movies that I went to go see. So the movie that was being talked about in the video was Lisa Frankenstein. I thought that movie was cute. I thought it was funny. I went to go see it in theaters, so I had a good time. If you haven't seen it and you want something light-hearted to watch, I definitely recommend going and go see that movie. The YouTuber I was watching enjoyed it as well. But you know, some light fun is always needed. Now we are at the fun part, pressing. So I do press my tumblers on 400 for 90 seconds. After the first 90 seconds, I flip it, and then we go ahead and press it again. Now moving on to our beer tumblers, we do take them down to about 380 and press them for half the time. We want to make sure that the glass doesn't break. It's glass at the end of the day. Now the reveal every time is my favorite part. Taking off the tape, not so much, because I work so hard to get it put on and then taking it off. But come on, seeing the design after the fact, that part never fails. Like, she came out so beautiful and the seam matched perfectly. Here's the Lilo and Stitch one. Well, I'm sorry, Stitch and Angel. And then there is my True Crime. We had a little bit of tape at the top, but that's an easy fix. After all that preparation, we finally was done. We had so many tumblers, so many mugs, so many cups. It was a great time. my friend Megan, she bought the table, so she allowed me to have a piece of it, and it was great. Check her out with Jonesy Girls Creations. She's absolutely amazing. Lastly, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and look forward to my next one. Bye.